having the right insurance for gig work and other random geezer thoughts. First random thought: carry the right insurance when you're out here doing gig work, be it rideshare or gig food delivery or last mile gig delivery work.
Earning extra money through DoorDash to pay off the car he just bought.
It took a long time to save for this car, and I was excited about it.
Corey Peterson suffered a financial blow.
The collision did set off both airbags.
Delivered by a hit-and-run driver.
They're telling me about $17,000 worth of damages.
He says he has full coverage and submitted a claim, and then he got a response from the insurance company. The former Marine has USAA, which told Corey he should have notified the company about his food deliveries, so the damage claim is denied.
The source of my bringing up this random geezer thought is a Omaha, Nebraska-based TV article in which a former serviceman, Corey Peterson, was sideswiped by an unidentified motorist while doing a DoorDash delivery. He says he had full coverage. His coverage is through USAA, being that he's a former military person, which also covers family of military personnel. When he filed his claim, USAA denied the claim because he failed to notify USAA that he does gig work. With a lot of carriers out there, doing gig work, doing stuff for pay is not covered on personal auto insurance policies. If he were to have been covered by USAA, what he needed to do was inquire about a rideshare endorsement, which rideshare endorsement covers like Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber Eats, and Instacart, and even even the last mile gig delivery apps of like Freight, Roadie, and the sort. I actually came out with this segment of the Gig Geezer last summer about what type of insurance you should have, and I went into great detail about that. So if you want to use that as a reference, please do so. But again, this is a reminder. This is yet another reminder about having the right insurance. Because you have personal insurance is not enough. But also, these gig apps are not going to tell you that you need to have rideshare endorsement. They're not going to tell you, because if they tell you something, that can come back and haunt them in a lawsuit. So they rather say that you need to consult your insurance person or follow state laws with what type of insurance is needed. But I'm telling you, as a licensed insurance agent, contact your company and inquire about that, or call around and ask about rideshare endorsement, because without having it, you may be stuck with a $17,000 bill as Corey Peterson. The next random thought. I was asked this question in a comment from a recent Gig Geezer community post, and it was about how many hours I put in, how many days a week do I put in. My quick answer is that I put in 6 days a week. My other quick answer is that my hours vary. Now, the reason why I say my hours vary is because when you're trying to earn the money that I'm earning, your hours are going to vary each day. It's as simple as that. And also because of what I do. If I'm around town, I may do just gig food delivery work and last mile gig delivery app work, and there may be from time to time a cash game opportunity. Typically, if I am around town, I'm usually home no later than 7:30, so no later than 7:30, 8 o'clock. But then again, I may go in and out throughout the day, and so, but then again, the hours still would vary. I can't tell you that I put in 4 hours a day, 5 hours a day, 6 hours a day. But I can tell you I ain't putting in. I can tell you that if I'm around locally, I'm not out 9, 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night. I'm just not. That's just not the type of hours that I do. But what distorts my hours are the fact that when I do brokered opportunities, meaning that I negotiate to transport goods and items either within state boundaries or cross state lines, those hours are going to vary because it's based on where I'm going. So, for example, last week, Tuesday, June 18, 2024, I had an opportunity from moving item from the Charleston area to the Atlanta area. Well, I know that's going to make it an all-day deal because I left home at actually 6:30 to do a last mile gig delivery opportunity. But then going to Atlanta after dropping off the last mile gig opportunity, I left home at 6:30 that morning to start doing that. But I didn't get home from Atlanta until like between somewhere around 8 o'clock that night. So hopefully I've answered that question. In fact, that leads into my next random geezer thought. Quick, easy money. I'm going to give you some examples of quick, easy money that I've earned. Now, the reason why I'm saying it that way is because the content that I upload on the channel, this channel, I try to give you the numbers behind the numbers and the story behind the numbers. Now, as a content creator, we have that creative beauty of uploading whatever we want, however way we want to present it to our audience. And so all I can tell you is that with me, I prefer to give you, again, the numbers behind the numbers and the story behind the numbers instead of just trying to put something out there to just grab viewing attention. So that said, what are some examples? Thursday, June 20th, 2024. I had a last mile gig delivery opportunity that paid $86.50. I delivered 40 31-pound bags of mulch, and it took me an hour and a half to complete. And if I were to base that on dollars per hour earned, that would have been somewhere in the neighborhood of $60 an hour. Based on rate per mile, that would have translated into about $25 per mile. But the numbers behind the numbers that day is that I earned $306. And I ended the day having completed a brokered opportunity that paid me $150. But here's another number behind the number factoid. It took me an hour to complete that. So I earned $150 an hour. But here's the kicker. The driving distance was 12 miles. The other story behind the story, the drop-off location was mere minutes from my daughter's apartment. And so I had a chance to stop by and see my daughter once I completed the order. Another example of quick, easy money earned. I mentioned it already, but Tuesday, June 18, 2024, I started the day with a last mile gig delivery opportunity. It took 2 hours to complete it. 2 hours, and that includes picking up, driving, and dropping it off. I earned $177.45, or somewhere about $90 an hour. But the story behind the story is that, as I've mentioned in some recent Gig Geezer segments, the market has crashed on that app, and that the app has onboarded drivers who are so eager to claim opportunities that they actually miss out on earning more than what they claim it for. Now, had that same opportunity appeared in April, I might have earned double than what I earned. But that's something that I just got to deal with. So I happen to pick the best of the worst on that particular opportunity. But the true numbers behind the numbers and the story behind the numbers is that as I turned into the parking to the warehouse area of that business, I got a text message from a broker whom I've completed a lot of opportunities for this year. And I ended up doing a run to the Atlanta area, and I earned $475, or about $1.70 a mile. So together that day, I earned $652.45. And I can also mention that my day was long because I left at 6:30 that morning. I didn't get home until about 8 o'clock that evening. The last example of quick, easy money earned. Thursday, June 13, 2024. I had 2 catering opportunities that day. I earned in total $334. The largest of the 2 was one that paid me $310. Now, that is not the first time I've earned over $300 on a catering opportunity. Now, if I had done like some other content that I have seen on YouTube, I could have, as soon as I got home that day, put together content saying how I earned $300 in 1 hour doing just catering work. Yeah, and I earned over $55 in a mile doing that particular opportunity. The numbers behind the numbers for me that day is that I earned $449.50 total. That's right. And also, the story behind the numbers is that upon completing that last mile gig delivery opportunity that got me to basically $450 that day, I accepted a brokered opportunity from Somerville, bringing a load back through Columbia that evening to be dropped off in Raleigh the next morning. In fact, that load was featured in this short Gig Geezer segment here. One other story behind the numbers. I mentioned about the $652 day. Now, in this segment of the Gig Geezer, I posed the question, how do you secure your cargo? And while completing that brokered opportunity, the pallet shifted, and the 450-pound plus drums that were on that pallet, they all slid forward off of the pallet. And so I was left with having to maneuver those back onto the pallet at the freight forwarding place. Fortunately, the forklift operator helped me he was helpful in that he positioned his pallet in such a way that I was able to put those drums back on the pallet. But that's not the first time it happened. In fact, if you see here in this picture, with my previous trip to that freight forwarder, the same thing happened, in that I lucked out in that those drums slid just partially. But I didn't realize that until I got to the freight forwarder. The last random geezer thought. This is actually on track and field. So this is basically me talking as a former sports reporter. Yesterday, Miss Sha'Carri Richardson won the U.S. women's 100-meter team trials. She ran in a world best time this year of 10.71 seconds. Now, on the NBC video feed on YouTube, if you check out the comments, the leading comments were about her nails, her fashion nails. That was a leading set of comments. They're calling them claws, talons, references to Freddy Krueger. That's all they could talk about. The next thing was about her. They're questioning whether she was actually a female. I got something to say about that very shortly. And then the last thing, that the last leading comment was about her being ratchet and ghetto. Now, if there was anything positive to say, there were references to the late Florence Griffith Joyner, because Florence was actually the first of the flashy sprinters in the last 40 plus years. She actually was a fashion statement as early as the 1984 Olympics, when she won a silver medal, but she really wasn't noticed for what she did until the 1988 Olympics. That said, what I thought about was, if these people actually knew what the hell that they were talking about, they would find out that Miss Sha'Carri Richardson has been Miss Sha'Carri Richardson has been a good athlete for a long time. In fact, in high school, she won 3 straight girls 100-meter titles in the state of Texas. And that is no small accomplishment. She won her first 100-meter title as a 10th grader, and then won in her 11th and 12th grade years. She also won consecutive 200-meter titles in her 11th and 12th grade years before going on to LSU. Now, the other thing is that for those who are questioning whether she's actually biologically a female, this girl competed in high school sports in the state of Texas. Just think about that, in the state of Texas, man. Do you think that she would have been able to compete among the girls in the state of Texas if she was not biologically a girl? But anyway, why did I bring up Miss Sha'Carri Richardson? Miss Sha'Carri Richardson has done a lot to present to the world a different person than what she presented to the world back in 2021. And it's well documented what had happened in 2021 when she was disqualified the U.S. Olympic team for a banned substance. But along the way, she garnered a lot of attention for her flash and all. But basically, what it amounted to was that she had all this flash and glitz, but had not really done anything. She won an NCAA title, and yes, she won the U.S. team trials, but she had not really done anything on the world stage. Well, that changed in 2023 when she won the world title, and I mean, she beat the best of the best in that final. She beat the defending Olympic champion. She beat the defending world champion, and she also beat other women who've been top 10 ranked over the past couple of years. So yes, that really catapulted her to world attention, and now she stands as being one of the favorites for the gold medal in Paris next month. But what I want to end this segment of the Get Geezer on, you know what? I have shared how I've taken a lot of I've sustained a lot of swipes by commenters on this channel, folk who have questioned whether I really do work. Some have said that I don't talk with any coherence and I'm just all over the place. And what I've done with some of those folk is that I've put their asses out there on blast. But then again, with the rest of them, I just merely zap their shit, and it's not, and only they can see what they put out there. Nobody else will see what they put out there. To drive my point home with what I'm sharing with Miss Sha'Carri Richardson. Miss Sha'Carri Richardson has surrounded herself with the right people right at this juncture in her life, and that's a very important thing. My other point is that people are going to say what they're going to say. I get that. People are going to say what they're going to say. Some people say things out of jealousy. Some people just say things out of sheer stupidity. And then again, some people just say things out of sheer ignorance, and that they don't know what the hell they're talking about. And so my encouragement to you is that if you're gonna do whatever you're gonna do, be good at it, or don't do it at all. Because even if you're not the best, if you put out your best, then you don't owe anybody an explanation for what you do. And so that's all I have to share in this segment of the Get Geezer. If you like the content that's been provided in this segment or in any other segment, hit that subscribe button, give my content a thumbs up, share my content among others, and I definitely welcome comments in the section below. I'm Inwood Lane, and as always, may your grind and may your hustle continue.